Since the Second World War, Europe has been at peace after centuries of bloodshed. United, it is hard to go to war against each other. To fight terrorism, human trafficking, arms and drug smuggling, we need to be united in our intelligence and policing. 3.5 million British jobs are directly linked to the EU. That's 1 in 10 UK jobs. Europe buys over 50% of UK exports. American and Asian firms build factories in Britain because it's part of, not outside, the world's largest trading bloc. Leaving would mean additional taxes, fewer exports and jobs. Air pollution and climate change do not stop at borders. European standards have improved the quality of our air and rivers, and we have the strongest wildlife protection in the world. Lead-free petrol, restrictions on landfill and a recycling culture are thanks to our membership of the EU. As the world's largest market, the EU negotiates trade agreements with the rest of the world. Outside the EU, the UK would have to renegotiate trade deals alone. As a Chinese newspaper states, the UK is not a big power in the eyes of the Chinese, just an old country apt for travel and study. The EU has taken on multinational giants Microsoft, Samsung and Toshiba for unfair competition and won. As consumers, we enjoy cheaper mobile phone roaming charges, lower credit card fees, cheaper flights and wine. Countries like Switzerland and Norway who've opted out of the EU have ended up abiding the EU rules without having a say or the power to veto. Both countries accept the freedom of movement and pay into the EU budget. Switzerland was bound by 120 treaties it didn't take part in making. Outside the EU, Brits would no longer have the freedom of movement, so no automatic right to retire in France, study in Italy, work in Germany or have a holiday home in Spain. A vote to exit is a vote for the unknown. No country has ever left the European Union before. How would the remaining members of the EU react? How would Scotland respond? How would business respond? A no vote is a leap into the unknown.
It will sing you to sleep and it will hit you awake in a perfect life.